So on this YouTube channel that you guys are watching right now, I have amassed around $1.2+ million in running this channel as this family business that I do with my husband. We homeschool our 4, almost 5 kids, and I work 1 day a week on this channel, yet I'm able to profit so much. And this sounds easier said than done. It is absolutely not, because it has taken us, I'm not kidding, 10 years of grinding and trying and testing different online business models, different income streams to land on the one that allows for so much freedom. And the best part is that now, for the first time, as of I think last year, my business aligns with my values, meaning that I am a Christian homemaker first and foremost. I'm a wife, a mother, and I don't want to spend my time feeding the YouTube beast of an algorithm like I used to do for the first 6-7 years on my main channel. But if you guys are new here, my name is Haley and I am a homeschool mom, like I said, of 4, almost 5 kids. If I'm out of breath, that's why. And basically I teach up and coming or even established creators how to build funnels, how to build digital products, courses, coaching programs, so that you can build a YouTube channel that isn't reliant on views or the changing algorithms, because that's what's really changed my life. And so if that interests you, go ahead and hit subscribe below and let's get into it. A lot of you guys might be familiar with the term. It's basically where you're making YouTube videos as marketing tools, right? You send people through a funnel, aka an email list. They watch a masterclass. Mine is down below. You can look at the whole thing. You get a series of emails and people buy a course from you or coaching programs or ebooks. That's what a funnel looks like. It has taken 2, probably 3 years of working into the night with having all of our kids 2 years apart. So we're always having like a new baby, an infant on our shoulder. And we are obsessed with looking at the metrics and increasing the conversion rate of our funnel. So if you want to work less and live more of your life with your family and not have to be an addict, like you need an IV of drugs to get more views on your YouTube channel to feel like you're progressing, then you need a funnel. So one video in this system that we put people through brought in over 1,000 leads. So a lead is someone that basically opts into your email list, okay? And it resulted in a little over $28,000 in sales from this video alone. This video took me around probably an hour and a half to script, an hour to film. I outsourced the editing through an editor, very basic. I do talking head videos for a reason. I don't want to do fancy B-roll, like I won't when I don't. I already did this for years. I don't want to do fancy cuts or graphics on screen because you don't need all of the nonsense. I have a very minimalist approach to business so that I can still scale a business to the $1 million level and be a happy wife and mom. So the first thing you have to know about actually building a legit YouTube-based business by selling your own products through a funnel is that you have to have a very clearly defined purpose for your channel. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, well, I already know this. This is basic information. I teach people how to lose weight. I teach people how to homestead, garden. Like I teach people bookkeeping, right? It's very basic, but that is absolutely taken out of context. And that is what has led me first and foremost to having 180,000 subscriber channel-ish over the last 6-7 years and barely turning multi-6 figures, which is really impressive. But I was going viral like no one's business. I had millions of views. I have over 300 videos on that channel. It was the absolute epitome of grinding, being a nervous wreck because I was relying on sponsors, the aka views, to feed my family when we went full time. But the problem with that, if you want an actual bulletproof funnel, you have to set yourself up as an authority. You can entertain while also being an authority, but there is a fine balance when it comes to persuasion marketing, right? And so what I should have done over there is stuck to one central novel offer. What I mean by that is you have to provide for people a new way of overcoming a couple central problems. And so a good example of this, we have one student, her name is Kiri, and she runs a YouTube channel called the Transformed Homemaker Society. Kiri is over here with a much smaller audience than I had, going viral much less and not obsessing so much over views, but she makes thousands of dollars a week in course sales, okay? And so she has a low ticket course. Courses are absolutely not dead. If anyone says that, they don't sell one and they're not good at it. And so she's killing it, and she works very minimal hours. She has 3 tiny little kids, and she she entertains, but also sets herself up as an authority because she only talks about a couple central topics. She's not just latching herself onto every viral trend that she can see, because that would just make her look like a jack of all trades. And also the most important thing, the third one, is it has to be in a unique way. So a lot of people ask me this question. I got this in our private Facebook group, which I talk with all of the subscribers that are in there. You guys can join it down below. I do extra videos over there and I only post them in that group every week. And so this question comes from Andrea Barr. She says, I love your golden nugget video, which is like how you go viral and my strategy for that. I'm looking into switching niches, but I can't seem to think of a niche that would have a course to go with it. That is the issue here. If your niche and your offer, aka what you sell, do not align, then it's going to be very hard to have a highly converting funnel. A great example of this is one of our former students, Now That We're a Family. So they are on YouTube, but they also have a podcast. Catherine, she sells a course in community called the Get It All Done Club. Okay. So if you look at it, she basically helps moms better mom. All right. Be more organized, how to meal prep and plan, how to cook everything in 1 week, how to raise a large family, how to systemize your home. And you might be like, well, that's a jack of all trades. Like, what's the difference between her? She makes multi six figures, most likely, don't quote me, but the last time I worked with her, she was on her course alone, her passive, pretty passive income course sales through her podcast and YouTube videos. So what the heck's the difference between her and like another mom who can't sell anything, does all of the same kind of content, how to clean your house, how to organize, how to have less toys, how to meal prep? Like, why can she not sell something? The difference is in authority. She's packaged in with a fancy red bow. And the way that she does this is very strategic for her. She's created really wacky and out of the box solutions that people have never seen before. For instance, she doesn't have an iPhone, okay, or a smartphone. She has a flip phone, and so does her husband. She is a minimalist and she has 6 kids. So she lives a very unique lifestyle. And so people are just drawn to her like a magnet because she's not giving basic advice. In fact, it is very out of the ordinary. She lives opposite to everybody else that is the masses in society. And so people want to learn from her because she has a unique solution to a common problem versus the lady over here, which cannot get course sales for the life of her because she just hops on every trend she sees and it looks like she's just stealing people's content, right? Just to go viral. And the only way that you're ever going to know like how you can uniquely help people, it has to be real. So for instance, I have a large family. My values come first. Remember all the stuff that I said in the beginning of this video for a reason, and because it is real. I don't believe in a hustle and grind mentality. I don't want to make overly staged, highly edited videos. I want to work 1 day a week, like I said, be able to homeschool my kids. As you can see, I am very unabashedly, is that a word? I got to look that up, myself. And so if that means you don't want to buy from me, I don't have the scarce mentality where I have to be perfect all the time and tell you that I do everything, which I went through this phase of business because you're scared, right? You feel like you should do everything for everybody because they ask you like, well, do you help me with this? Well, do you help me with this? And so you're like, yes, 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 because you're scarce, all right? You're fearful that it's hard to get sales. It's hard to get paid. It's hard to get views. In the end, it messes you up because your conversion rate lowers. So when Haley's over here saying, well, I don't do this for people. I don't teach like this. I'm not helping you with this. I only help you in the things that align with my life and how I've built my business. So if you want on my bus, get on. If you don't, find another coach or mentor or whatever. It actually makes me more money. And I was very scared to be truthful, to be just honest on the internet. Many creators or influencers are because they have to pay the bills to feed their kids, all right, to feed their family, especially when you are doing this full time like I've been for 10 plus years. And so I've had to learn the hard way that people pleasing, chasing trends, chasing views, making a course on every topic people ask you about is the fastest way to, I hate this word, but burnout. You're just choosing to quit because you built your business out of fear. But also number 2, you're not going to earn trust with people. Therefore, you're going to make less money. The second step now is you need to create content that feeds your funnel. So if your content does not align with what you sell, you're going to get views, but you're not going to build a hopefully 6 or 7 figure business like I've had to. And I've learned this by just not being very, I tell my students all the time, don't make emotional based decisions with your YouTube channel, with your funnel, with your sales, with your clients. Make data data-based decisions or mathematical decisions, that's where my husband, who's a dude, really helps me out, because he's like, okay, you feel like you want to make this video and let's make it and test it. And that's the beauty of having a funnel and an actual business on YouTube, is that you're not a headless chicken like I was for 6+ years. You can actually be a business owner and be cool with yourself. When you put out a video and it flops, or when you put out a video, it goes viral, doesn't make you a lot of money like we talked about in my last video, you're not stressed, because you just take it as data and you don't repeat the mistakes over and over and over, wishing and hoping for a different outcome. So there are 3 different types of videos that I have figured out through my husband. I remember looking at the data that if I put these videos on the internet and how many of these I put out per month, it will make us around this much dollar amount in course sales, okay? Or we don't just do courses, it's really our coaching program, because we're talking to people and all that. So the first video is visibility videos. So this is an example of a visibility video. It's hard for me to say that word. Avoid these 6 niches in 2025. And so it's basically meant to bring people in. It's very top of funnel. A funnel is like, if you change your own oil like my husband does on our minivan, you'll know that a funnel looks like this, right? It has like a really wide area at the top, and you funnel people into this little whatever tube thing. And basically the analogy is you put people into your YouTube videos, they go through your opt-in, and then the last part is that they convert through a course or coaching sale, right? And so we found that we need the 3 layers of our funnel consistently feeding the funnel month after month after month in the form of YouTube videos and the types of opt-ins we put out. So the top of the funnel is very crucial, right? But the problem is that most YouTube creators, they only focus on top of the funnel. So they'll do videos to go viral only, right? Like this one. The reason why this for me and my niche is top funnel, because it's for beginners. It's people just getting started. They don't know anything about courses, funnels, coaching programs, conversion rates. They don't even know what the heck an opt-in means, right? So I can't just do videos like the niches one. It would make me look really good. It would make me go viral faster, but it would actually make me less money. So when I get comments on YouTube that's like, well, how do you make that much money? You don't have very many views, or you don't have a million subs. Like, that doesn't make sense. It's because you're thinking emotionally and you're not looking at the data. And so it's very freeing as a person with a lot of kids that runs this family business with a very small team to know that I don't have to go viral. It has nothing to do with like actually how many views I get in and of itself. It's all these other metrics that my husband has put into this spreadsheet, and we obviously coach to our students. And so that is top of the funnel, and you still need these to get people in, but you need multiple layers to help them convert so that you can make the most amount of money with each YouTube video. So let's go down to the middle of the funnel. These are called, we made it up obviously, but trust videos. Okay. So basically they build a relationship. So if I just came out doing like, and everybody in my niche is doing videos like this, which is fine, and I still do them, but like the best settings to help you go viral on your YouTube channel, how to blow up your YouTube channel, right? How to choose a niche, how to get started. Those are all top funnel, but they don't really build trust and relationships. This is a trust video. This is called How a Tiny Ebook Made Me 1.2 million and Replaced All My YouTube Sponsorships. This video is basically the difference between business models, like going the traditional YouTuber route versus going the online business route. If you don't want to teach about online business, like I do, obviously, there's a lot of other, you could pick any other niche. It's just how you structure your income streams and which one comes first, which obviously, now mine is courses/coaching programs versus sponsorships. And the whole premise of this video is to build trust, empathize with people that are on the rat race hamster wheel like I was, and also convince them, obviously, because I'm selling something. I'm a marketer, right? I'm a business owner. That is, if you have a business, you sell something. That basically, if you align with my values, my mission in life, like I've been talking about a lot, you will switch business models to this one, no matter the niche, and have more of your life back. The whole point of these middle of the funnel videos is to break the top 3 reasons why people would believe that your product or solution wouldn't work for them. And so you do it through story selling and all these different ways ways, and you do it in your real life. It's just I've systemized it for my own self through a certain script that I use. Anyways, that's a whole other video, but that's the middle of the funnel. That's the trust videos, okay? So the last type of video is the one you're watching now. It's more like tactical, right? And these are the conversion videos. So here's an example of this. You're watching one, but also another one is this one, okay? Your YouTube channel won't make money until you fix this 7-day plan. And I talk about how just starting is a lie. Obviously, I don't believe in just starting a YouTube channel because it's like you should know so much before you go into the wrong niche, build the wrong income model if you want to have any sense of sanity in your life. But I digress, okay? So basically these conversion videos like this one, they're designed to get someone ready to buy. Like the video that I just mentioned, you know, your YouTube channel won't make money until you fix this. They deal with objections and basically nudge people towards action. The 7-day plan video, it was at 20,000 views, posted 3 months ago, but this video brought in $29,000, like I said in my hook, right? And over 1,000 leads. Why? Because I built it with intention. But I will say that if you put out at least one video every single week, just rotating these types of videos with a solid funnel, which we're getting to in number 3, actually building the real tangible funnel, you can make a lot of money. But it's like stacking these skills. It's very overwhelming, right? That's why this video is at the bottom of the funnel, because I'm not like, you know, pick a niche and go viral, or not that I say that at all, but you know, it is very overwhelming. So I tell my students that it's absolutely worth it because I can make so much money working 1 day a week now, but it took me a long time to get here. And now obviously I teach people how to do it, but you have to think of it like stacking bricks in like, mansion. Like you're stacking skills, one skill after the other, after the other, after the other. And hopefully you have someone to help you, or else you gotta like just kill yourself to figure it out with your husband. All right. So step 3, you're going to build a freebie that makes you unforgettable. So many people online have droll checklists. Like, dude, there's AI nowadays. You can't just barf up something in Canva and then I don't know. Actually, that depends. I'm going to take that back, because if you have really authoritative baller videos that get millions of views and do all of the 3 things that I talked about, you can just throw up like a checklist downloadable and get thousands of people on your email list. But you have to have one or the other. And that's like a unicorn sighting. Okay. You usually don't have a really, really good content with like a terrible opt-in, aka the freebie, the checklist, the video, whatever it is, the guide that you're giving people in exchange for their email. And so step 3 basically is if you want to play the safer bet like myself and you're not like an uber experienced creator, you want to create a opt-in or a freebie that is unforgettable, okay? Something that makes people think, wow, if this is her opt-in, what is it like to actually work with her? Or better yet, if this is her YouTube video, I cannot wait to get whatever free thing she's put in the description box, let alone what is it like to work with her, right? So you always want to deliver the most value as possible. And I think the reason why I never wanted to for years, and why most new creators will say, well, like, you know, do I give everything away for free? Then they're not going to want to buy anything from me. People buy from people because they want to hear more from you, saying the same things in a different way, or a more specified way, or with more detailed steps. You cannot be scarce, which leads me to like the first thing we talked about. You can't be fearful. You can't be scarce. You have to give the whole gauntlet, or whatever you want to say, of information, because they'll still buy from you. And you want to be a giving person. You know, you want to have that value because it's just more moral in my experience, but also you'll make more money if you're more trustworthy. And so you have to just blow people out of the water. Do not feel fearful that you're giving too much information away, okay? Converting people happens in every single phase of your business. It's being trustworthy and authentic to who you actually are and what you actually help people with from the beginning to the very, very end. Most creators focus on just going viral and basically getting more eyeballs on them, but an online business owner who makes 10 times more in income focuses on delivering real value. So for instance, not just talking about myself the whole time, Courtney, she created a power crops guide that basically helps beginner homesteaders know exactly what to plant. So this doesn't just happen in my niche. Like so many people use that as a cop-out. Well, I don't teach people how to make money. Well, Courtney teaches you how to grow strawberries. All right. So she's killing it as well. So Meryl, in a completely different niche, she shares biblical financial content. All these people, they've gone from traditional YouTuber, could barely make money, struggling. Vakita had 500,000 followers on TikTok. She could barely make money. And so she went over to YouTube, did the whole system, and now she's got multiple opt-ins. She helps, feminine manifestation, that kind of thing. So it can work in a lot of different niches, but it's not so simple to just regurgitate some like basic template from Canva. You have to give as much value as you have time for. There was a day where I used to think I had to be on Instagram, podcasting. That's why we have an old podcast. That's why I have 2 Instagram accounts and a YouTube channel, and also have a blog, and also be on Pinterest and LinkedIn. And so the solution to this is that you take a minimalist approach to business that aligns with your values, and you pick the one medium that has the highest conversion rate. Obviously it's YouTube, that's why I'm here, and you nurture with email. So you're not having to obsess over growth on every single platform. In fact, you can outsource all the platforms and make the most amount of your money, honestly, which is what happens with one. So how you do this is with a series of well thought out and curated and tested emails. So when I send you my freebie, you get your opt-in. So that could be like a video training, a masterclass, which is just like an hour to 2 hour long training where we sell you something at the end. You guys know if you've been around long enough, you get a checklist, a guide, an ebook or something like that. And then you get a series of 5 to 7 emails that tell stories, deliver quick wins, and naturally lead to the next step. We've done so much data gathering, understanding like what people's frequently asked questions are, what are their biggest objections, where are they at in life, where is my target customer. You have to know exactly who you're talking to, what they look like, and what their issues are, so that you can overcome them without answering every single question over the phone in order to get the sale. The next step is to basically sell through a mechanism, and it could be multiple different ways, but I'm talking about what I found works best for our business, that works while you're offline. I've learned the hard way that if you have to show up doing live challenges, launches, or just being on Instagram, specifically Instagram, I really loathe, but being on there every single day, at least how I felt when I was doing this for years, is I didn't have a business, I had a job. I had to figure out a way to get people to pay me without me having to show up every single day. I've done the whole thing, many chats, DM convos, Instagram stories, launches, there's only 24 hours left, it's time to buy. But it just made me resent my business. And so what I do instead now is a pre-recorded 2 hour, or it's like 1.5 hour masterclass or a training that is down below in all of my videos. So a lot of you guys that have been in this space might, and I used to think this too, masterclasses don't work anymore, courses are dead. You see videos that go viral, courses are dead. And I'm like, well, that's a lie, because my students are making money teaching people how to, garden or grow strawberries. They're making multi 6 figures, some 7 figures from gardening courses. So I think that's fear mongering. And obviously I wouldn't have money if all of this was dead. And masterclasses are just as effective. I just think they have to be done completely different than they were back in 2015, 16, 17, because nobody trusts anyone on the internet, because there's like fake AI influencers, right? And so you can't hide anything. You cannot fake anything. You cannot fake like chats on masterclasses that are like, hey, ask me a question. It's just a bot. Like nobody wants that. They don't want you to tell them, in my experience, for making more money, being more authentic. Nobody wants to get like necessarily discount codes or like $1,000 off if you buy today. It's lies. Like nobody wants to be lied to, right? And so for me, I give you the price, I let you buy, oh my gosh, whenever you want, right? I don't tell you, you have to buy tomorrow, you have to buy in 6 months. I maybe could make more money that way, but it's not true. Like the price is not going up. The price is not going down. It's not going anywhere. This is my price. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Buy from me or not, or find someone else, or do it on your own, So it's just, I find that I make more money in 2025 just being authentic. And so I believe that is the way you should sell online, is authenticity. You can't be a liar, right? You just have to be truthful. So the next step, but it's basically to create your signature course or coaching program or membership model, whatever digital product that you feel like aligns with. But I like courses and coaching because you can have multiple tiers and it makes us the most amount of money when we've tested it for years. But basically, what I think is best now is to be very simplistic so that there's not a lot of moving parts. You don't have to hire a giant team and you can still be a millionaire from your YouTube channel. And so it's to sell one course that aligns with your lifestyle and with your values. So this is a thing that took me nearly a decade to figure out because there are a million ways to make money online. Anybody that tells you, like I said, do challenges or do launches, do live webinars, or do a membership model through school, right? Everyone's trying to do school nowadays. That works, that they all work. They all freaking work, okay? And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to really choose which type of online business I'm building. And so what happens, aka this is what happened to me, is you do all of them. You do one and you're like, wait, that makes me stressed and like snap at my kids. And this is too hard to scale. This takes more than 40 hours a week to do. I'm not doing that one. So then you do another one, you do another one, you do another one. So my solution to this is to only follow people, hint, hint. If you're on my bus, you're on. If you're off, you're off. Obviously, like I said, only listen to mentors, gurus, people online that have your ideal life or that line up with your values, because then at least you know, and you're placing your bets on the fact that this income stream will work because there's sustainability behind it. If you're following a dude that has no kids, that like is a hustle and grind type of mentality, but like you are an avid surfer, you homeschool 7 kids, you know, or something like that, then his income stream is going to produce drastically different results if you try to model it, right? Because how it works for him is not how your life is set up. It is very difficult to not listen to people or say, you know, I'm not going to listen to you, even though you made $10 million last year and I am a scrub and I can't even break $1 of earnings online because you don't have my values. You don't have my lifestyle. It became very easy for me and my husband to make a lot more money when we just put our stake in the ground and said, wait, these are our values. I do not want to outsource my kids to nannies like I was being told with other mentors, or to put them in school. That's just, we're homeschool weirdos, okay? And I don't want to have to build a business that requires all of these sacrifices that they say are necessary to take. Even though I'm going against someone that's making so much more money than me, you know, who am I to say no to them? It's been easy for my husband and I to do this now, even though it was so hard for probably the first 8 years, because we lean more on our faith in God. This video is about funnel. This is not about Christianity or God or Jesus or whatever. But I will say, on a side tangent, just to be real, that is the only thing that is allowed for peace of mind and for us to put the blinders on, is being like, okay, what does God say that I should do? How does he say that I should set up my business? And then you just attack that, because there's so much shiny object syndrome. You pay for a coach or a mentor, or you get a course and you see someone else being like, well, actually that's old and dead. It doesn't work anymore. And so when it's not working for you, remember, they all freaking work, right? Depending on your values and what you are and aren't willing to do. So then you go hop on the next train. You hop on the next train when you should have just looked at people's values and analyzed, like, do they reflect mine? So I basically did everything, right? I did what? Coaching, calls, live trainings, challenges, 12-week programs, different niches, different courses. I have tiers. I have a ladder of ascension. And we've spent over 150 grand and not bought our first home just to pour into mentors. As you can tell, I was success obsessed. I was willing to do whatever people told me at the time. I sacrificed all values, right? To just make it online, because I saw my parents struggle so much in my upbringing, trying to do businesses. My mom was a nurse working nights. Like, I did all these things to realize it needs to be freaking simple, okay? I laugh at myself even just saying that. So I stripped everything down. So I turned our signature program, the only one we sell right now, YouTubepreneur, the 7-figure selling program, one course, one funnel, built to run 24/7 so that I could focus on my family. And so there's obviously a lot more to our funnel. I mentioned the ladder of ascension. I will link that video up here and down below as far as like what happens after people buy. Is there anything more? Because one of the keys to making more money and to beefing up your business is to get people to buy more than one time. So that another reason why you don't have to go viral as much. If you build trust, get results, and offer them more opportunities to buy from you, they convert at a much higher rate. If you get someone to pay you once, they're like 80% more likely to pay you twice if they get results, right? But I will link that video so you guys can see what happens after. But that is pretty much it for what our funnel looks like. It's very simple, but it's come with a lot of learning curves, a lot of trying, and it's been a wild ride. So if you guys got value from this, you You guys can analyze the funnel. You can look at my freebies or just watch my next video. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.